Yu-Gi-Oh! Mint.com is now TradingCardMint.com. Please check out their selection of over 20,000 cards with prices cheaper than TCG Player. Alright, what is up YouTube? MK40 here. We're going to be doing Goompa's deck profile. It's basically Turbo Neo Nectar. We found a couple lists across the OCG pond, and we kind of tested them after kind of getting the hang of the deck. The deck has a very good early game. If you get to the token board in Premium, you can actually do some relatively cool things, but if you don't get to the token board, you're kind of in a bad position in most builds. Guys, please check out our friends at TradingCardMint.com and Zero Damage Playmats as well, down below in the description. If you enter MK40 on checkout, you will get the chance to save a little bit of money as well on your playmat, your cards, whatever you need. So, Premium Neo Nectar.
There's a couple different lists going around. I think there's one that's like almost fully Musketeer.
You want me to run this deck profile for you? This deck's better than DI. The sadness on his face. I was actually surprised. The run was actually doing work.
Oh yeah.
Which actually...
it was actually working very well.
Okay, so this is your actual... You'll want to go to this after you do force markers. But Asha's really good. She plays around the lock, facilitates...
She can. If you're facing against Link Joker that locks you, like Deletor, don't worry about anything. But any Link Joker that locks you, you want to ride her first, just so you can get rid of a locked card on your board.
One problem that we've seen with this list, though, is you are limited on your bloom units.
There's only 8 bloom units in the deck.
But it's not that hard to play around.
She puts things back, a Stride puts things back, a G-Guard puts things back.
Yeah, it's not like you don't have ways to play around things, but yes, but 4 copies of this is absolutely mandatory, I feel.
You need to see it.
Now, you're on a 2-2 split between Cecilia and 2 copies of the on-place make tokens. So actually this isn't incredibly terrible. The on-ride functionality of this is really good because you make tokens. The tokens actually allow you to continue on with your spam, which is actually...
And they just make a column.
Yeah. Outside of that, Cecilia allows you to rotate between your combo pieces and things like that.
Essentially, early game, you want to see these, and then late game you go into Asha. Essentially, your mentality early game is play premium. No, play standard,
yeah.
And then late game play premium.
I love being a fair deck, but that's why I actually like this, because if you get this on first ride, and then you go into the Asha afterwards...
You fill your board.
Yeah, and that's really what you want to do. Outside of that, like, it just kind of depends on things.
I almost like this better than Cecilia, though. Just getting the free 2 plant tokens.
Well, I mean, you also get the force marker, too, which we care about, but, I mean, 95% of the time, it's fine. Alright. Goodbye, grade 3s. Alright. 4 copies of Kara, aka Bloom, gain...
10k.
10k.
She's a 10k herself. With Asha, if you're on Trailing Rose or Cecilia, she's 9k.
She also gets resist, right?
If you're Redonkulous.
Huh. It's like you think you're an XL deck or something. Alright, so we have 4 copies of On Ride, make a fucking token, which is actually really absurd for what this deck actually wants to do. Token spam.
Early game.
Yeah, that's literally how this deck wins now. It's on call make tokens, and then of course you have to play 3 copies of this. This is going to be your big push from what we've seen so far.
If you open the grade 1 that just spams 2 tokens and then you can have these in your hand, you're good for
you
the
just
game.
make a board. Did you want to play 4 of this?
Not really. I always pretty much saw it when I needed it. There's maybe 1 game in testing that I didn't see it, but
I mean, you have to see this to be your extender. I don't even know what you would cut for this.
I wouldn't know either.
The deck is so tight as it actually is that it's ridiculous in terms of ratios, but I mean, once again, she's 10k, she duplicates tokens on the field, like, and like
you can ride her and duplicate still too. So.
That's actually probably the best part about this card. So, alright, moving on along to the grade 1s. We have 4 copies of our other Bloom unit.
Your only other Bloom unit.
What does she actually do?
Literally same thing as Kara, except she also has a skill at the end of the turn, Soul Blast, and return her if she bloomed.
Oh, okay, so this thing actually does get bounce ability back to the hand, which is actually pretty crucial.
There's one game where I called 3 and bloomed them, and then Soul Blasted 3 just add them all back to hand.
If only she had 10k shield, we might actually have a good card on our hands.
Right.
Well, I mean, do you feel that the small bloom package actually hurts the deck any?
Oh no, it actually helps, because your main stride, you need Bloom.
Velhamina.
She only calls Bloom.
Alright, 4 copies of Stride Fodder. Did this feel like too much?
At times yes, but at times no.
I don't even know what you would replace it with. Are there any...
You could drop 1 for the other grade 2. For the
for the other...
the 4th one, but I if your grade 3s are tight as is, writing, getting force markers, and seeing Asha, you need these for striding.
the other important thing with this actually goes and gets Asha, right?
You can call her, reveal any grade 3, get Asha.
Oh yeah, that's really good. Alright, so we also have 4 copies of the On-Ride Make Said token.
In the same column.
Oh yeah, well...
And then if something's called in the same column on rear guard, 3k.
It's Soul Blast 1, right? To do that?
To
Okay.
get a token, yes.
I mean, we were always doing that. And then we play 2 copies of this guy.
See this early game with the multiplier, you're good.
Literally just Soul Blast, retire this unit, make 2 tokens.
Yep.
Can they be in the same column?
I think you can place them anywhere.
Oh god, and if your Vanguard's grade 3, you actually get to make the tokens 10k, right?
Yes.
What the fuck? Alright, that's pretty good.
I might have forgot to do that a couple of
That's
games.
fine. So we have 10k for the... or 14 for the grade 3s. Alright.
The big ones.
Triggers, we have... critical triggers, we have
Pretty
8 of them. Yeah, pretty standard. We have 8 copies of them. And then, yeah, just 10k triggers for the most part.
You don't play any 5ks.
We have 4 copies of the draw triggers.
PG, you need them.
And then, hey, it's a 2-2 split on the heal triggers. This is actually pretty relevant, right? At times.
Sometimes you don't have soul. And,
Yeah, I've kind of noticed that about this deck.
and
And then the draw triggers, or the draw starter is actually really good
yeah.
for the most part. Alright, moving on along. We have the G-Zone. I don't know what's actually changed over here.
Not
See,
much.
you actually get access to force markers, you get access to the tokens, and then, alright, G-Zone. So we have 1 copy of Super Asha. What'd she actually do?
Copies, Canvas 1, Soul Blast 1, copy, and then whatever you copied, everything on the board with the same name gets 5k for each face up above that.
Okay, so depending on which stride you go into and whatnot, this is actually not bad.
It's a late game finisher.
Oh, so your early game is actually going to be Velhamina.
Ideally, flipping up the Ranunculus.
Well, that's kind of what I noticed, because like you go this, flip this, go this, flip this,
And then
you can
they
go
flip
that, flip that if you absolutely need to. But on play, well, on
Or on
attack, called 2 bloom units, and then GB4 is actually the thing that makes this so
Really
threatening.
stupid.
Yeah.
Because you push your opponent to 3 to 4, if not 5 early game, then you just Velhamina at GB4. All your rear guard swinging with a crit.
What the heck does this thing do?
You rarely ever use it, but Counterblast 1, put a card from your hand to soul, and you can copy cards from your deck that have the same name as every card in the soul.
Oh god, fuck that. Alright, we have 1 copy of the Recycler, which is really bad. We have 1 copy of Zoa, which is actually also not terrible. And then we have Rock Tome, this, and 2 copies of the Super guy.
This is actually really important because when this is put back to the G-Zone, you can return 2 normal units. Most of the time you're going to return your bloom units, and yeah.
Alright, guys, please check out our friends at tradingcardnet.com and 0 damage playmats, and MK40 on checkout. And that's what we got for this video, guys. Peace out. That's not all, card fighters. Please subscribe for more Cardfight Vanguard content. Please remember to check out MK40 for Yu-Gi-Oh videos, and please check out MKOgames.com, my store, along with No Limit Gaming, NLGTCG.com for all of your guys' trading card game needs as well. Until next time, guys, remember to hit that subscribe button. Later.